Hi, everyone. Welcome to Research and Methodology in Social Sciences, Politics 3033 or something else like that. My name is Dr. John Mutlu. I'm the professor for this class, and this is a short introductory lecture that is not supposed to be sort of like a content lecture. It's just more sort of like I think of it like a week zero introduction. Later tomorrow, I'll be uploading a substantive lecture on philosophy of science. So today is just we're just sort of introducing myself, going a little bit over the syllabus, explaining the modality of teaching, and just sort of going over how office hours work during pandemic, etc. So first, a little bit about me. My name is Can. It's spelled Can but pronounced Can because it's a Turkish name. Where C makes a J sound. So it's a complicated. I was born in Istanbul, Turkey. Then I grew up a little bit in Portland, Oregon. I'm a Portland Trailblazers fan. I then did my BA and MA at UVic and PhD in Ottawa at University of Ottawa. I play bass guitar. I really enjoy films as a genre of art. I love board games. I play Dungeons and Dragons. And I enjoy sci-fi, and I love walking. I have a little person. Her name is Eleanor. She's in the picture. She lives in Ottawa, and I have recently gotten a puppy. She's a 4-month puppy named Dolly Parton, that Eleanor named. So I'm not taking credit for that awesome name. My own research is on security, technology, and mobility at Acadia. I'm an associate professor of global politics. And yeah, so before I go on to the course, I want to talk a little bit about what it means to learn to live and survive during a pandemic. I'm not going to tell you guys about what the pandemic is, etc. I think you've all had enough of that. What I am going to say is that this is a different year for teaching and for learning. Things are different. We're using Zoom and Microsoft Teams, etc. in different classes. Things are virtual. So this class is a virtual class, meaning that there's not going to be any in-person component. We're not meeting physically together in classes. But what we're going to do is every week I'm going to upload about an hour and a half worth of pre-recorded lectures, and then we're going to have once a week on Thursdays a real-time synchronous session, a discussion group, or sort of like an applied session where we sort of discuss or unpack what we're learning about methods together. And that will take place on Microsoft Teams. You'll read this. This is sort of like a longer text, but what I'm trying to get at with this is that this is not ideal. None of this is ideal, but we'll make the most of it, and we'll do a good job. But it is what it is, and we'll make the most of it. So that being said, what I'm sort of saying is I'm happy to be flexible with assignments, with deadlines, etc. Things will work out. All I ask you is if you need an extension, reach out to me before an assignment is due, and then visit me in my virtual office hours to tell me what's going on so that I can sort of stay on top of, what's going on. So, that is all to say. My general philosophy in teaching is that I do not like surprises. Now, clearly, sort of pandemic has changed that, and that there's been a lot of surprises in the last year, but I think we can still sort of maintain some control over our lives and try to make things work as best as possible. So, what are you going to learn in this class? This is an interesting class. It is a class where the content is not necessarily something that you're going to memorize and maybe testing you, etc. The content is you learning how to do research, and research that is not simply just going to the library or Googling something, but rather sort of gathering data as a primary data collector. So you're going to learn about different methods used to conduct research, questions of proof and measurement of proof, and the politics of knowledge claims, what is said, what is left out, and also just to learn to analyze, discuss, evaluate, and present the findings of your research. It is a methods course. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not going to read through this course description. You can look at it, but what it's saying is that I'm teaching you how to do quality, ethical academic research in this class. Now, this class attracts different people, right? Like there's people from women and gender studies, environmental studies, ESSD, and politics. Like this year, this is sort of like a bit of a mixture of different departments. But essentially, what we're learning is qualitative research. So we're learning what is a fact, how do we establish them, how do we separate them from fiction, what are different methods used to establish research, to conduct research, establish facts, what's a proof, how do we measure it. Yeah. Normally around this time I would sort of say, hey, do you have any questions? But instead of sort of going and doing that, what I'm going to suggest is that we take a moment and go through the course syllabus. And here what we have is our course Acorn. So if you go on your Acorn, it's going to look slightly different, but you're going to see your courses here. This is the methods course, so click on it. Welcome to Research Methodology in Social Sciences. You will see the information. There's the notes. Here we go down. So let's talk a little bit about the assignments for this class. This class is a bit assignment heavy, but that's because there is no midterm or final exam. So what I have are smaller assignments that in the end, once you're done with all of them, put together a comprehensive research proposal and then allow you to present that research proposal in the form of a 10-minute video, sort of similar to this format that I'm doing. So first assignment is due on October 15th, and it's a 500-word abstract where you're providing a synopsis, etc. I'm going to provide a detailed breakdown of these and provide a handbook for you guys on what to do, what's an abstract, etc. So do not worry about it. I'm not going to go through all of it right now. I'm just going to go through the assignment for you. Then the second assignment is a literature review, where you're writing about a 1,500-word literature review that looks at your topic. So you're going to pick a topic in your abstract. You're going to create a research question and argument. Then on that research question and argument, you're going to find the relevant literatures, do a little analysis. Then you're going to sort of, in the third assignment, you're going to propose how you will do the research. Again, I will give you guys really comprehensive instructions on how to do this. A thing that we as a department, politics department, decided this course is a requirement for our honor students is that you should learn how to fill out an ethics form. And ethics is important because when you're doing human subject research in social sciences or any other discipline, you need to fill out an ethics form, and a group of scholars and lawyers go over your research to see if your research has any reverse or unethical impact on the subjects of your research. So I'm going to require you to fill out the actual forms for Acadia Ethics Board based on your proposed research for this class. Then you're going to present your proposal, and then you're going to give me a final or revised proposal based on the feedback that I provide with all of these individual assignments. So then you come back, you incorporate the feedback that I have given you, and then give me a final revised proposal. And then throughout the term, when we have our synchronous or real-time tutorials every week, there's an attendance and participation component. So each of these are very small components, really. There's nothing more than 20% of your overall grade in each of these assignments, but it is work. And this is in that sense a sort of like a busy course, but I wouldn't call it a difficult course, because at the end of the day, you are proposing a project that you would want to do. And let's say if you want to do honors, or if you want to actually sort of conduct research, you can actually propose something that you want to do for that project and start doing the groundwork early, and it would really sort of help you down the road. There's a little sort of box here that explains, what I'm expecting you, and what the percentage, the assignment, and the due date. And if we click on the syllabus, you'll see the same information This is the grade catalog. I would say that this course tends to be sort of graded in this area of a B minus, B plus. Usually, like, that's the average. Some people go low if they don't come to class or if they don't do any of the work. Some people go quite high because, you know, it also attracts or is a requirement for honor students, etc. So there's, you know, there's a bit of a selection bias there too. So pre-recorded lectures like this one will be on Acorn in video format. Discussion groups will take place during course hours on Microsoft Teams on Thursdays. And Tuesday's class is your time to sort of watch the pre-recorded lecture of the week if you want to, or, you know, read the readings or whatever. Like, it just sort of, the way that I see it is that you're required to have about 3 hours for this class. In a normal year, you would have about 3 hours. So this year, you're going to have about 3 hours of content, but half of it will be pre-recorded, so you'll be watching it, and half of it will be on MS Teams, Microsoft Teams, and it will be sort of like this. Office hours are a little different this year, so we're not allowed to actually have physical office hours. I can't sort of have you come to my office. So what I'm doing is this thing called Calendly. What we're doing is you can click on this link. It will take you to this website. You'll see the days that I have my office hours. So, like, this can go all the way into October. You'll see that I have my office hours Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So let's say next Wednesday, these are the times that I have available. Let's say you're available at 2:30, so you want to come. So you say, okay, I want to come at 2:30. You write your name. You write your email. Then you give me an indication of why you want to come. You can sort of say, hey, I want to talk about literature review. I want to talk about abstracts. Hey, I want to get to know who you are. I want to introduce myself. These are all legitimate. So then you press schedule event. Obviously, once you enter that, then it will direct you to, like, it will send you a calendar invite. It will send me a calendar invite and sort of say, okay, we're meeting. Then it will direct you to this group on Microsoft Teams called Dr. Mutlu's Office Hours, very aptly named. And here you can hit the meet once it's your time, and I'll be in the meeting. So then you can just sort of, basically, it's like you knocking on the door and coming into my office hours. Then we discuss, you know, whatever. Yeah. So, what else? Yeah, the things that we're going to learn in this class. So the week 1, we're going to learn about philosophy of science. So that's this week. So this week's lecture will be about philosophies of science. Next week will be research design. Then week 3 will be drafting a research question and developing a thesis hypothesis. And in that week, we're getting the current 4th year politics honors students project, honors students present their project proposals. Then we're going to do discourse analysis, how to conduct a literature review, ethics in research, field research, interviews, the art of writing, revising, and editing, and then a general discussion of research proposals. The last 2 weeks, we don't actually have course actual content, but what we will have is I'm going to be uploading your video presentation, so you can just watch your peers' projects and sort of get a sense of what everyone has been doing all term. So it would kind of be like a showcase of what you've been doing all term, which I'm really excited about. In the politics department, we have this thing called the Statement on Freedom of Speech and Classroom Conduct. This is a research methods class, so usually we don't steer into heated debates about world politics or politics in general, but you never know. So please take a look at this and get a sense of what our policy is. We talked about office hours. This is a course on research, so you will need the library. The subject librarian for politics is Mike Beasley, so you can get in touch with him if you're having a hard time getting a hold of a source, or if you want him to sort of help you with finding something, help you show you how things. I'm actually going to see if I can invite him to come to class and talk about sort of Zotero, which is this free software that allows you to create bibliographies and help you with sort of information management. Let me go back to these slides and yeah, so here we are. Office hours. So we talked about the office hours. Library services, like I said, library is a little different this year, so like actually taking out physical books will be a little bit different. So give it some time or rely on digital sources. but like sort of pay attention to what's happening in the library, and there's sort of the changes, like sort of in the same way, because this is a writing course in that like you're doing research and then you're sort of doing a lot of writing alongside of that research, or learning how to do research. If you have issues with writing, I would recommend going to the writing center. Writing is a skill. It's not sort of something that you acquire naturally. It's something that you perfect by practicing. It's very like some people are naturally talented writers, but most of us are learning how to write by writing more. So and on that point, again, sort of if you have issues with access, if you need accommodation, you can go to Accessible Learning Services and get a basically documentation that sort of, I don't need to know what your special requirements are. All I need to know is that I need to give you more time, or help you in certain ways, or allow you to use different kinds of sources, like etc. It's all good. I'm all happy to sort of help you and support you in that way. Another resource that we have on campus is the Resource Center. So I personally suffer from depression, so I am, quite open and understanding about people's needs and people's sort of struggles with depression, anxiety, and sort of stress. So if you need help, contact Student Resource Center, or talk to me and I can sort of direct you in the right direction. One of the things that sometimes for people triggers this kind of thing is also addressed through the Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Officer. And this office is there to prevent discrimination, sexual harassment, and personal harassment from occurring in the first place, or if it is occurring, it sort of is there to sort of investigate and find solutions to these problems. So these are the services that are available to you, and this is sort of like a really quick introduction. So what we're going to do tomorrow, which is sort of Tuesday, is during the office hour, or during the regular class hours, I'm going to sort of send the Teams link. It's just going to be like a little, impromptu, informal meet and greet, but I'll be there just sort of, if you want to sort of drop in, it's all voluntary, or you can just watch this video and wait for me to upload the actual lecture content, and then that's also fine. We are going to start with the actual discussion group this Thursday. So on Thursday, it will be on Microsoft Teams, where we're going to sort of have a chat and talk about, first probably talk a little bit about how technology works and sort of best practices, etc., and then just sort of discuss philosophies of science. So I just want to say welcome to Research Methodologies in Social Sciences, and if you have any questions, please sort of send me an email, send me a message on Microsoft Teams, come to my office hours. Whatever you need, I'm here for you. I'm here to sort of make this course enjoyable and also rewarding, even during a pandemic. So hopefully it all works out, and hopefully sort of this format is okay. Like I'm just learning to make these videos and trying to make them work. So if you need anything, if you want something changed, if you need something different from these videos, just let me know. Otherwise, I'll just do them to my aesthetic or my sort of taste. But if you need something else, I'm happy to sort of change things around. Yeah, I hope you have a great term. I hope you stay healthy. I hope you stay happy. And yeah, take care.